we are back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It ain't gonna happen in this video, but you know what? Hey, one of these days, y'all. But joining me, she is back on my screen. I did a few videos without her, and I really did miss my friend. So
You did
y'all
so
say
good
what's up to
though.
Mrs. Best. Girl, when I tell you,
I watched. You did really
I
good.
I felt empty without you here. It was like, oh
Oh.
my gosh, like it really felt like a part of me was missing. Like, dang. But it's hard. It's hard to do. I don't see how you do it. It's hard to do with
Oh,
just
there's a couple videos where I've been like, I've said my point and I've been like, so what'd you think about that, James? And during the live, I've had to be like, I've smoked a little bit of, adult grass. And even though I did it, I'm so used to you being there. It's happened a few times. And I'm
hmm
like, wow. And I don't know how to edit that out of my video. So it's just sitting there.
it's just sitting there. Okay, I appreciate it. So y'all, this is Married to Medicine, season 10, episode 4, recap and review. Y'all, this is the big wedding reveal. Of Dr. G and Sweet Tea. We gonna reserve our opinions at the end of what we think this marriage is gonna do. But first of all, let's talk about the episode. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie go over to Phaedra's house. Dr. Heavenly rolls over Phaedra's flowers and stuff with her car. And Dr. Jackie was hollering because she said, "You did tough this lady stuff." And I was laughing with her because one, y'all, I hate to admit this, but that's how I drive.
What?
Yeah.
You're a good driver.
No, I am not. I
What?
think I think because the Camaro was so small
Oh,
that
it's easier to
yes, I
drive.
have an SUV
Okay.
now. So it was crazy as I want a bigger SUV. And I'm like, maybe I should just stick with what I got because that ain't gonna work out. But I tell you, I hit every curve and I don't, how, the little path that you exit out on, it's
I'm
not,
crying.
yeah, like, I literally roll over on the sidewalks like it is a terrible thing. Like,
Oh
my
my
poor
God.
alignment, I know I need to go get one. I know my car is messed up, and my car is brand new, so I'm like, "Dang, I done messed this car up already." I'm sure I did. But, yes, I could relate to that, Dr. Heavenly. I can because I do that all the time.
Dang.
So, they go over to Phaedra's house, and they begin having a conversation. Mainly, they wanna know why did Phaedra invite Quad to Sweet Tea's bachelorette party, and Phaedra gonna lie. Phaedra was like, "Well, I just thought that, since everybody was asking about Quad, why not invite Quad over and you guys can confront her then?" And she says, "You guys are Quad's friends." And Dr. Heavenly speaks of, "I'm Quad's friend." Now, Dr. Jackie reveals to us, because we did not know this, Dr. Jackie reveals that, she likes Quad, but she can't really call Quad a friend because Quad doesn't show up when you need her to show up. Quad doesn't call when you need her to call. Quad doesn't really, perform friendly duties. There's only so much that I can reach out to you and want to know about your well-being before I feel like you're not reciprocating the same thing. Now, I am guilty of doing what Quad does. I have to admit that I am very guilty of neglecting some relationships that I have. It's not on purpose. I promise y'all it's not on purpose. But between working, writing, and my life, I am, in a relationship and everything. And I give a lot of my time to that as well. It's hard for me to really maintain friendships that I have because I am very busy. Now, what makes Mrs. Best and a couple others really different is because she gonna bug the hell out of me if she ain't heard from me in 3 or 4 hours. So that's what makes our friendship different. And of course, if my phone is going off, I got to respond. Now, there's sometimes I don't get back to her to the next day. There is sometimes because I'm either asleep or I'm like in the zone and I can't, and she'll throw me off my tracks, not on purpose, but just in general. So that's realistically what it is. So I'm guilty of that as well. So I kind of was like, I think Jackie's being a little too hard on her, but that's her prerogative. That's Jackie's side.
Uh, Here's the thing. Quad is much younger than Jackie. She's much younger than Simone. She's younger than Heavenly too. She's younger than most of the cast except for Toya.
No,
So
she's younger than Toya. Toya's
is
older.
she?
Toya's in her late
Oh, well,
40s.
good for Toya. She looked good.
She looks great.
But
Yeah.
yeah. But either way, Quad's younger than I guess the cast,
Except
even
Sweet
the
Tea.
ones I didn't, except for Sweet Tea, because Sweet Tea's our age and
Mm-hmm.
that. But um, here's the thing. Even though I check on James, one of the reasons I am so much better about it now is because for years I would go sometimes for years at a time, months at a time, and he would make the effort. So I think when you friendships on Married to Medicine, I think friendships in general for a lot of people, regardless on where they're from or how they grew up, I think that people expect them to be as they were like in high school when you're with your friends all the time and you tell them everything. But as you get older, you shouldn't be talking to your friends as often. Quad did all of that also and is distant from the group because there's been times that Dr. Jackie, Simone, Heavenly, there's been times that they could have stood for her and defended her more as a friend and they have not. And I think that it pushed her away, and that is why we have this new quad that's like away and not too concerned with them. And she's treating them basically, in my opinion, she's giving them what she received. But you know, it is what it is. Jackie should be less hard on her, but I do think what Jackie said is valuable too, because Jackie doesn't just say things to say things like the other women. She doesn't just say things to be messy. And she's someone who's equally as busy, if not busier. And if an on call doctor can figure out time to be there for their friends and to film and to have a husband, then I think that single quad, who's not a doctor, and this is her only form of employment right now, is she could do a little better. But quad, I think the money got to her head a little bit. So I'll say that.
I agree with that. I do. So Dr. Jackie, in the midst of her giving her explanation, she said, "Now let's not detour the conversation. Now back on you, Phaedra." And when Heavenly started laughing, you know that laugh, you know that laugh. I was hollering because I was like, Thank you, Dr. Jackie. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Because y'all know Phaedra would like to skate out of shit. So they held Phaedra down again. They said, "Phaedra, do you feel good about that decision?" She goes, "Well, I think Quad changed the dynamic of the group. I think that Quad, when we saw Sweet Tea, she was throwing things and having a tantrum, and so Quad just came in, and I felt like made so much peace." And I'm looking at Phaedra like, no, that is not what Quad did at all. Because the
Phaedra knows
moment
that. She
because the
was making
moment
a
Quad
point.
walked in, Toya took the baton from Sweet Tea and got angry. "Why are you here, Quad? You're not supposed to be here. Oh my God, get up out of here." It was all of that. So I'm sorry. No, I disagree with that. I think she ruffled a few feathers. Absolutely. She ruffled a few feathers for some. She was made others concerned and others were confused. Dr. Heavenly was happy and messy. So I mean, I think it, worked out for everything. But they were all taken back by Phaedra's answer. And what was funny was Dr. Heavy said, "So you just gonna stand on that, huh?" And when I tell you, Heavenly, that laugh got me again. I said, "Heavenly, I need you to stop with this witch laugh. I need you to
No,
stop."
no, Heavenly. Let me tell you, I saw an article that said that Heavenly is part of the reason Married to Medicine, after 10 fucking years, people finally care about it. I think the laugh needs to stay. And I think Phaedra, this shows Phaedra Parks is in the right place. Now, she fucked up with what she did with Candy. That wasn't so nice. I didn't like that. But this is why it's good she gets a redeemable, moment. She's definitely with the cast full of people who match her education level. Dr. Jackie came right back to her. I feel like Phaedra was being messy. I'm gonna call
Oh,
it educated
absolutely, she
shade,
was. She was
because she just
absolutely.
said she had concerns about Sweet Tea, which we all do, because when asked what she's most excited about with her new engagement, instead of the love, my man, to be with him forever, I get a little access to the money. So I feel like Phaedra, because she's known Dr. G the longest, is probably trying to like ruffle the fact. Why do you care so much about the ex showing up when you're on the ex's show and you're living in the bitch house? I would demand a new house.
You still
I
ain't
was
past that,
Gucci.
y'all.
I'm not
She's
past that.
still, and
They
I'm not
she's cooking
either.
in
But
the
I
same
feel
stove, fucking in the same bedroom, the same air. So, oh yeah, Dr. G, put it down. I'm telling you, they inhaling the same stuff. That's weird, man. People refer to her house as Quad's old house. I'll be
yeah, I thought we
goddamn.
was. I don't know how you
Never
did
getting over
that.
it.
Yeah, but you're not over that. And once again, but I'm gonna back my friend up. I couldn't have did that shit either. Look,
She's
there's
crazy.
absolutely no fucking way. You finna sell this house. We gonna get some more shit, and I'm not. There's absolutely no way I could do that. There's
At least
no
knock a
way.
wall down, you
No,
know.
we can't even do that. Put a, either you put a for sale sign up, or I'm finna go get my own shit. I'm not finna sit. No, I'm not about to sit up in somebody else's house because that house would never be mine. If I'm really thinking about it from the context of one, this house being on a national syndicated show, you shared it with a whole nother woman. There is no way in hell I'm gonna come in here and move into that house. There's no way, knowing that I know all of that, even though on word on the curb is allegedly Sweet Tea did not watch the show before meeting Dr. Gregory.
She lying. How else
I
would
don't
she have DM'd him saying, I know you want to have a baby?
apparently she put it on the Facebook group or whatever group that shit is, the sugar babies, even though it ain't sugar babies, that's what that shit is. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. But apparently that group matched them up together. So that's what they're saying.
She's full of shit. She showed
It
us
doesn't
the
make
DM when
sense.
she first got with him. That man cried on TV for 5 years about wanting to have a baby. And then she goes and messages Dr. G when they're set up, like, I can have babies. I'm ready to do all of this. What's up? You watched the show. Cheryl, I mean, Sweet Tea. You watched the show. I just don't understand why people lie about that.
Hmm.
So,
But speaking of Sweet Tea and Dr. G, they go up to their venue, and this is the one where they had to pay the extra 14,000 dollars on that phone call that made her throw that big ass tantrum. So they're going to the venue, and she brings up the bachelorette party to Dr. G and said that Quad show up, and apparently Phaedra was the one to invite her. And Dr. G got all in them feelings and everything. So he goes to the side and calls Phaedra. Now, one thing I enjoy about Phaedra is I actually love watching her lie. I actually enjoy that. I don't think I've ever enjoyed watching somebody live like that. But I tell you, Phaedra will lie like I ain't never seen nobody lie before, and will say it with a straight face and a very pleasant tone. Where they do that at? Where have you ever known somebody to lie to you that has all those qualifications?
she's an attorney. I mean, I
She
got.
No, she is definitely legally trained.
Mhm.
Y'all, when I tell y'all, that's when you go to law school, that is exactly how they train you to be. And most people, they either pick up on it or they don't.
Mhm.
And she has it down packed. Like, oh my God. But he's like, well, why would you invite Quad over to this, to the thing? You're supposed to have my back and everything. You my friend. But she says, well, yeah, I understand that. And no, I didn't mean any harm by it. The ladies were asking about her, and I just figured it would be the perfect moment for Quad to be in her presence. And Sweet Tea did take a liking to Quad and everything. And, it was very pleasant. Quad brought gifts, and he go, I don't care. I don't care. I didn't want her to be there. I don't want them around. I don't want you to put my soon to be wife through all of that. And it was like, sir, I'm gonna need you to stop. I wouldn't even have called Phaedra because the shit is over. What does that matter now?
He still love Quad.
Do you think that's what it is? Someone else brought that up too. Someone else brought up
Bro,
that he still
if
loves Quad.
if you fast forward, or not fast forward, rewind back to the reunion when they were done, Gregory, you slammed me to the floor. Like, he seemed more willing. You know how Simone and Cecil's bullshit ass marriage was saved through the little reunion. I feel like Gregory might have wanted and had hopes for things to like be saved. Quad filed, Quad was done. He said that too. He would kept trying Quad, didn't want to. I think that man still loves her. I really
It
do.
wasn't that, and here's the
Because if
thing.
he
I
didn't,
didn't
then
see
why
that.
would he be so
Yeah. And when he
upset?
said that, it's good. It's I forgot he said that. When you said that, I that's not what I saw when I looked at their dynamic season 3 and 4. I'm gonna say season 3 and 4 because that's when we really saw the height of the issues. Season 4, when she told him, "Look, I feel like I'm in this marriage by myself. The
Mm-hmm.
moment she said that, I said it's because his sole responsibility is to make you feel guilty that he pays for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing this exact same thing
Mm-hmm.
to this young lady. And because she's so fixated on wanting a man, there's some old ass man that's older than both of your fucking parents, you're just going to completely ignore it, all of the red flags. Which is
Yeah,
why
I
I'm not gonna feel
think
bad for her.
Dr. G. Come on, Dr. G. We're in the same field, bro. Like, you should be able to identify this. You're trained in it. All I have is a bachelor's in psychology, and I can understand it. As doctor, sometimes psychiatrists and your mental health professionals are the ones that need the most help. Myself had to have therapy and psychiatric care for many years. At sometimes that's what makes us really good to practice those fields, because it's better to practice it if you understand mental anguish yourself. So I give them that. But Dr. G definitely has a lot of growing to do. It feels more like this marriage relationship, the rush to everything was probably because Sweet Tea wanted to be on TV and stop working at a government job, and because he was like, well, and then I can prove something to Quad too. I can find somebody else. He seems like that type. I'm sure he's a wonderful psychiatrist, but yes, as Nia Green just commented, doctors are the worst patients. And I absolutely think that Dr. G is struggling to like imprint some of what he learned on himself. He's not a bad guy, but to do all of this, to come back on your ex-wife's show with a new woman, from his perspective, like, why do you want to be any part of it when you're the psychiatrist that has, money? He didn't need to do this. And then Sweet Tea, we already know she got a hidden agenda. So it's sad, but I definitely think he still cares for Quad or isn't over it. He's probably worked towards it, but it's hard to get over somebody when you jump into something with somebody else. All you do is kind of stall those feelings, but you have to address them. I hope he has a therapist. I do.
9 out of 10, he doesn't, because he gives me someone who thinks that he knows it all, been through it all, and has seen it
Mm-hmm.
all. He just
That's
gives
why he
me that
like younger
impression.
women.
No, you know what? Honestly, because she was so I would have agreed with you had he pursued her. Because she
Mm-hmm.
was so thirsty to be in this man's DMs and to start this future with this man, I don't feel that same way. I feel like she was more so of the, chaser, the aggressor. And I think he is just stuck in those patterns of, well, I'm the man, I'm 59 years old, this is how I am, I'm not changing. And that's why I tell women, stop dating these old ass men. Especially if you don't necessarily have to, because a lot of y'all do this to fix daddy issues. A lot of y'all do, and it's such the wrong move.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is the better move. Getting to know that you need to forgive yourself for feeling that if your father was in your life, you would be any better, because sometimes that's not always true. Sometimes the neglect may have been better than the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, that's kind of where I'm going with this with Sweet Tea, because I feel that she had an agenda, but I feel like you really didn't think this through if you felt like this man is going to be different with you.
Or it
Because
didn't matter.
because him telling you, because you didn't set the alarm, there were robbers in the house. That to me says, at any point in time, I can lie and manipulate you, and
Yeah.
your feelings do not matter because you didn't walk out the door and leave me after I did it.
What they call that in school, ageist semantic
Hey,
manipulation.
just semantic manipulation. Yeah.
There's terms for
Hmm.
it. People do that. When she said that, I was like, girl. But I really don't think the girl cares. I
I don't
really
think she either. I think she sees, well, one, first of all, that was the wrong one to go after. If you really wanted to go after somebody, hell, Curtis wasn't on. Let me shut up. Um, let me shut up. Anyways, y'all, moving on.
watch your mouth
Right.
with your
Let me
review.
right. Let me watch my mouth. So, anyways, the wedding is here, y'all,
Ooh,
and the
tired
guests are
as
arriving, and it didn't look like no 200 people to me, but it is what it is. We gonna move forward. I This next part I'm about to say, because I was happy to see her. I really was, but I'm still mad at her. I was happy to see Dr. Contessa and Scott. I was happy to see them, even though I am mad at Contessa still. And the reason why I'm mad at Contessa, because I didn't recap the show last season, Contessa and Heavenly were my favorite friendship out of all of this group. They were my favorite friendship because I felt like they were so different from each other. And the fact that they were able to laugh, have serious conversations, have each other's back, make differences with each other, and really respect each other's professions. I felt like I was really enjoying that dynamic because we don't see it too often, where different black women of different, you know, placements of life come together and have such a strong bond that I enjoyed it so much. And to see that that ended because of Contessa's insecurities of her marriage, it really did bother me. But it was good to see her. She looks great. Contessa looked great. She did. So
Let us know when you file for divorce, Contessa. That's all. Can't stand that man. That's all.
anyways, y'all, because yeah, I wish we would have recapped this last season. We probably would have had a whole controversial show.
We would have been banned from
Yeah, we would have
YouTube.
been banned from YouTube. Okay, God know what he doing. Because let me tell you, I could, yeah, Contessa probably would end up suing me after that because I'm telling you, I went off. I was so mad at Contessa because I was like, "Oh no, you didn't." And I went into that season wanting to be mad at Heavenly because I felt like she did it. I did. I felt like she did it. I did. It wasn't until I watched the first 3 episodes and I said, "No, you didn't, Contessa. No, you didn't, Contessa. No, you didn't." Wow. But anyways, this ain't about Dr. Contessa anymore. Let me move on. So, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Damon, it is also Alora's prom. Scott, Dr. G, Curtis, etc. Red flags.
Most
Why
of these
are,
men are red
why are all these
flags.
husbands red flags? I just Naya, you just pointed out something that I just really was like an aha moment. All of these husbands are trash on this show.
But married to some of not just the smartest women, but people in this country. It
Yes,
just
some
goes
of the
to
most
show you
brilliant,
educational
beautiful,
smarts
just
is different.
stunning women. Like Dr. Jackie is stunning at her age. Beautiful woman. Dr. Simone is stunning too. All of these women are stunning. And I just cannot for the life of me understand these husbands. Because they are some of the most trash, most egotistical,
That's
most
why they get along so well.
misogynistic men I've ever seen in my life. The only one that I feel like may not be as bad, but I still watch him with my good eye is Dr. Damon. I watch him with my good eye because I feel like there's something in that buttermilk that ain't really been soldered out yet. So we'll move on. But speaking of Dr. Damon, Dr. Heavenly show up and they plan to enter the wedding. And Johnny, flashback Johnny, that same Johnny that tried to sue Candy,
Is that?
is that's the same Johnny that tried
I
to sue
thought he
Candy.
looked familiar.
Yes, that was that same guy was at the door and told Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, y'all are not on this list. And Toya coming up right behind, she said, "Hey, what's going on?" She goes, "I'm not on the list." And Toya said, "Nah, you on that list. She ain't move you off that list." And Dr. Heavenly's like, "This some bullshit. I didn't came all this way." And mind y'all, Dr. Heavenly live way out there I'm not gonna say where she lives 'cause I know where she lives, but I mean I don't know exactly where she lives, but I know the general area of where she is, and she lives quite a ways from Atlanta where they were. They came all this way, all for them not to be on the list. Now,
And their daughter had prom.
and her daughter had prom, which is an important night for her. So word on the curb was okay, but let me say, Letitia said, let me tell you what Letitia said in this um, in confessional. She goes, I uninvited Heavenly and I uninvited Damon because Heavenly at the bridal shower was talking about me and my maid of honor came back and told me which they said, which if y'all watch my review, I said that. I said that friend was in their ear hustling because she was over there taking notes. Also, she can go tell Sweet Tea what she said. So she uninvited her from the wedding. Now, according to Dr. Heavenly, she did a live with Carlos King earlier today, and she said that she was shocked, but production told her, "Don't leave. You're coming in this wedding." She has no
I
say so.
knew it. I knew it.
So
I knew
production
it.
said, and Heavenly was like surprised that she saw Phaedra in there because Phaedra also because Phaedra invited Quad, and Phaedra said, "I brought the reverend. So if I wasn't coming in, that reverend wasn't coming in, they wasn't gonna have no wedding." I said, "Yep, that sounds exactly like Phaedra.
Yes, it
Absolutely,
does.
that
It does.
sounds exactly like Phaedra." So Dr. Heavenly walks in as Sweet Tea and Dr. G are officiating their vows, and all you heard was hee Heavenly's laugh. And when I tell y'all, I was hollering
They paused their vows and everything.
everything, and it looks over at them, and they said everybody. Dr. Heavenly said because she sat next to Scott and Contessa, and she said that they was hollering when Heavenly did that. And she said Simone Messias was laughing loud too and everything. So they cut all that out. And I said, damn, I would have loved to have seen that shit because that would have been like the
That's
killer.
what she gets. That's what the fuck Letitia gets. That's what she gets. Because, first of all, I hate to sound so wretched, but bitch, how scary are you? If you got a problem with me, you can say it to my face. If you could take me off
Right.
of the wedding before I get there, then you can let me know before I drive from really far.
That's
Because
what I'm saying. Like, why
the
you
kids
just
that
didn't call
you
her and say, look,
right, the kids y'all hope to have, they have, because they're youngest. They cut her prom pictures and all that short. You know, Damon wanted to make sure his daughter was back home and not at the after prom party, but they drove far to come to your wedding, which we all know. I'm not supposed to give my opinions on the wedding yet, so I won't. But we know that this is not like if me and Mr. Best was getting married, where there's like love and trust and a relationship. You know, right now we looking like you might need Dr. Phil or the Sugar Babies website. That's what it's looking like at this time. So it's like you should have kicked out. If I'm going to disinvite someone, it's going to be the bitch that brought my husband's ex. And the Reverend, though Phaedra said that, shouldn't have been a problem because if he's truly sanctified in the name of the Lord, amen, hallelujah, then Phaedra not want him to come wouldn't stop him from coming. Also, the Reverend is paid, so I'm sure he would have performed his duty. So I just felt like that was whack and weak of Sweet Tea.
or
You
not,
should have
because,
just invited the person who you know for a fact played with you, not the he said, she said. Because I get a feeling she's our age. She's exactly my age. And bitches my age are messy. I'm 31. I'm just saying, some of them still think they're in high school and chit chat and all of that. So I just don't trust Sweet Tea. She got mad at the wrong person. You
I
have
don't think
evidence.
she, I think, here's the thing. I'm trying to say two things are true at the same time. I still feel like to some degree, let's say, for example, I wanted to get married and you're seeing signs in my partner that is like things that you would question. You don't know how to approach me and say it because you don't know me that well to say, hey, look, this ain't it. Because the truth be told, Heavenly does not know this girl to really come to her and say, hey, based on what you've told me, based on the interactions I had with the ex-wife, because I'm very close to her, I really think you need to give this more thought. Maybe do more counseling sessions where, you're talking and you're making sure that these issues don't come up later on in the happiest moments of your life, because the first year of marriage is always the hardest year because there's a lot of adjustments and everything like that, which is why I always tell people live together before you marry somebody.
I just Googled it. It says that they got engaged in September of 22 and they were married by April of 23. They got married very fast. Very, very fast. Very, very fast.
Uh, yeah,
That's
they
real.
did, but I don't. But I'm also somebody that does not believe in long engagements.
Listen,
I,
that's why
I,
our divorce
I,
rate is so damn high.
I don't believe. Well, that's because people don't marry for the right reasons anymore. People don't marry. First of all, I feel like to me, because I'm such a different perspective mindset person. Because this is how crazy. Like I'm gonna go into a rabbit hole real quick. I have a friend in Phoenix. We used to work with each other years ago. Like when I tell you, my probably my first 2 years of Phoenix, and she had gotten divorced. Like her divorce was final, literally the month I started working at the job. And we worked with another guy who is her now husband, but back then, like she really just thought he was just so sexy. Like she used to tell me that all the time. Now, mind you, I didn't want to hear that at that time. I was like, I don't really care. Like I don't care. But she would just repeatedly say this. And he was a good person. He had great qualities. Not very nice person. But she could not fight her attraction to him. So when they were dating, she felt like there was no reason really to take the relationship further because she did like his qualities, liked who he was, said he was very responsible. But she felt like the only reason that she truly wanted to be more involved is because she was just attracted to him. And I said, well, why don't you just marry him for that reason? And she was
Yeah,
like,
that
she was
situation though, that like some people do have situations where things like that work for them, but there has to be a little bit more to the
well, I say
relationship
this to
for it to
say,
work than just attraction. Because eventually you get old and your parts stop working, and then you can't do much about
but
that
what I'm saying, but I
person
say this to say,
anymore.
I say this to say 14 years later, they're
Mhm.
still married. And she still, when I see her on Facebook and everything, still says that same attraction that was there from day one is still here now.
I
And
mean, the same attraction's there with my spouse, but when people marry, I think no matter how close we are to people, even family, those who think they know the reasons or the main reason why people know, usually when married people allow them to know, nobody knows what's going on in that house. I'm not saying they're unhappy, but I
mhm.
think that getting married so soon when there are age gaps and other huge red
No, I think
flags
this shit is
in
wrong. No, I
both
agree
of
with you. Yeah.
them.
Yeah, no, this ain't that. No, I'm saying no, I'm saying this ain't that. Now that, on the other hand, is I think a woman, if I'm really being honest, I just think she just didn't want to be the only one who was not. I think that that's really what we're looking at here when we look at Sweet Tea and Dr. G. I think that we're looking at a woman who did not want to be the only woman that was not. Mind you, her parents are married, her sisters are married,
Sure.
everybody is married around her. I think she didn't want to be the only person that was not married. I know a lady like that as well,
Mhm.
who did that same thing, where because everybody around her was married and she was the only one that was not. Now, luckily for me, I always keep two or three single friends because I'm also a victim of that myself, where I'm like, I don't want to be the only friend that is not. Now, I am taking, I am in a relationship, but at the same time, I always keep friends of different demographics because
That's
I also
important.
suffer from that as well, where I don't like to be the only person that is not. You know what I'm saying? Like that is
Yeah.
a real thing. I forgot
No,
what
it
they
is.
call
We
that
have a
disorder.
mutual friend that's done that. She's been engaged about 27 times. And the one that
But
finally
that's the
married
thing.
her, she
Like that was
admitted
like that's the thing
it.
that she felt like that because but I think that because she lost so much contact with me that she didn't really think of me in that moment to where, you know, James is here. Like I'm never like I'm always, the one that's alone. So, you don't never have to feel that way because hello, I'm like right here and we're gonna get through this together. So that's what I'm just saying. Like I felt like, but yeah, that's what I felt like for Sweet Tea. I felt like she was the only person that was not. And I think that's why she married him.
Probably,
So
probably, probably.
so the wedding party is going on, it looked very nice for what it was. It heavily comes up to her and was all like, you mad at me? You mad at me, girl? Ain't no reason to be mad at me. I love you, all this and this and that. And I was looking at Heavenly like, girl, shut up. Stop that lying. Stop the lying. And they said, meanwhile, at Quad's house, Quad in the bathtub enjoying life. I said, this scene was so unnecessary, Bravo.
And so
Really?
scripted. Because who's taking a bath in full makeup? Okay.
In a wig.
All right. Once I've contoured, I'm not going nowhere near steam. I stand by that.
Mhm. And
Listen,
that and that was a good wig too. I don't know why she put that wig on her, but I mean, maybe that's the wet and texture. But
she not wet and wavy.
Because I don't know no women. Like I
Oh,
don't know any women that get in the bathtub with their wigs on. I don't know nobody like that. Unless it's the
maybe it was
wedding.
a frontal. I
No, no, that look like a Tom. That look like the Robbie Rogers wig. That don't look like none of that. That shit is expensive. That look like That look like something Robbie Rogers would have made. And I
Side
was
note though, they did a whole scene at her wedding. Bravo was messy because now when this girl goes like, "Oh, we're gonna get to see the wedding on TV," quad gonna disinvite the production too. I'm just saying, like, Bravo knew what they was doing. Y'all go air quad, the good-looking ex-wife at home, taking a bath in the home that she paid for by herself, and we got to watch this hotel wedding. And I'm just like, I would be mad if I was Sweet Tea. And I don't blame her for that. Y'all already got me on this girl's show. But now you got to show her at the one event and episode that could have been without her. Like, doggone. Like,
Mhm.
why? Why would they do that? I would be pissed. I would genuinely be pissed. But I'm possessive and neurotic, as my husband likes to say. So, that's why I eloped. I don't have time for all of that. You got to worry about people, then you got to feed them, then you got to worry about them getting drunk. And then the show showing that.
Honestly, I always wanted a big wedding, especially when I started liking men. I always wanted a big wedding. So for me, I still desire that. It was funny is because one of my desires for my big wedding is having the Clark sisters sing "You Brought the Sunshine" at my wedding. I know that probably would never
Oh,
happen in a million
maybe
years.
it will. They still perform it.
Girl, look, the way my life going hell, shit, they gonna retire right when the shit happened. I'll be like, damn, that was my chance right there. Because I tell you something that because I've seen them live before, and I cry every time they play that song because I can remember my mom as a kid clean up singing that song. So that's why I'm just like, I
I love
know
your mom for that.
she did. She used to sing that song all the time when she would play. It
Oh,
was every Sunday. She would start playing that song. So the song has so much sentimental value to me. That's why I said I would love for my wedding day if they actually performed at my wedding singing that song.
you
And they
just
can throw
touched
in a little
my
bless.
heart.
They can do Blessed and Highly Flavored too. I actually love that song as well. But
Oh,
yeah, that's my desire. So that's why I said I've always wanted that because I've always wanted that part of that story to always come true. And I don't know if it will, but it was definitely something I
I'm gonna
desired.
give me a good wig for your wedding. Wait a second.
Girl,
Clark sisters gonna be there?
Mrs. Best is gonna come in some braids, and I
No, I will
know
put on a wig for your wedding, or I'll wear my hair. I do have a full head of hair. I
I've
will
never
wear it.
in almost the
Good for
20
you.
years we've been friends, I ain't never seen it. So yes,
Because you lived in Arizona for PSA, y'all. I do like my braids and twists, right? However, I have hair comes out like right here, not
I
too
know
much,
she does. I know she probably got a
but I
whole
don't
full
like
head of
to
hair.
comb it. I'm extremely nappy headed and I get frustrated very fast with my own hair. So I play Melita. Shout out to Melita, my braider and weaveologist. I love you, girl.
I ain't never seen her with a weave, and I said I've been friends with her almost 20 years. We went to high school together. I
Listen,
ain't never seen her
listen.
outside the braids. I ain't never seen her outside the braids.
I
Never.
do wear a weave like maybe once
I ain't
a
never seen that.
year, just once. And it's usually like
That
I won't take any pictures. I don't know why, but I'd be cute.
that's why because we do this like all the time. Like we didn't video chat or anything with each other when we would call each other on the phone. So when I'm talking to her on the phone, my only depiction of her is with braids in her hair and the same type of braids all the time. So yes, that is what I'm saying. Anyways, y'all, we get off track, y'all. That was real. Excuse me, real. Married to Medicine, season 10, episode 4, recap and review. The wedding has happened. I can't wait to see how the rest of this season plays out. I cannot wait to see how they were quad in with Sweet Tea being on the show now that she is his wife. Sweet Tea, I want you to move out that house now that you're his wife. I
Please,
want you to move out
please.
that house and have him and you and him go build. If y'all really gonna be together, I want y'all to go and build a nice house and have it be your own,
Mhm.
and not you being the second wife that lives in the same house he's had with his first wife. We really want that for you because
Yes.
every time we recap this show, we seem to always be saying the same thing. Why are you in Quad's house? Why is this happening?
Please make your own identity and don't do like Toya and Eugene.
Oh,
Once you
please don't.
build it, pay for it, pay your taxes, and don't move. That's it. people got to learn to live within their means, especially in the Black community. It don't matter if someone is astute and has money from being a professional like Dr. Wendy, or if they are doctors and surgeons like on the show, or if they are regular Joe Schmoes like me and James or whoever is watching this, it don't matter. Somebody always trying to have more than they need. Live within your means.
Mm.
Please live within your means. That's all I'm saying.
What
Because
was I
Toya
about to call?
Eugene,
And then also, I would love to see more. I know she's a friend to the show, but she looks very interesting. I want to see more Dr. Alicia and Dr.
yeah,
Umar. I actually would love to see them more because they were very beautiful. Both of them, they are a very beautiful couple. But I almost called her Dr. Audra.
oh, what happened to that Audra
I
lady?
don't
She
know
got
what happened
pregnant
to
and left.
yeah, I don't know what happened with Audra, but I
Huh.
loved Audra, so I'm mad that they just eliminated her out of this equation altogether. Audra, make a
Wow.
comeback somewhere. I don't care where it is. It can be here on YouTube. Go on Dr. Heavenly Show, something. But I thank you guys so much for coming. You know, we had a great time. The episode was just mainly focused on the wedding. There's not much that happened, but it was a fun episode to say the least. Heavenly and Phaedra killed me on this episode. I laughed so hard. And as I said, it is enjoyable to watch. Phaedra over there just be lying and having a straight face. And Dr. Heavenly with the switch laugh. I promise you. It is like, you know, Dr. Heavenly sound like one of the villains on Scooby Doo. I promise you, she laughed just like that. But
She
any
does. I will say that what's her face, Sweet Tea, coming for Heavenly. She already gets frustrated and screams and cries into the restroom. So I was curious to see how Sweet Tea
Yeah, I want to see how
operates.
that plays out too, because they going back and forth online and stuff. So I want to see how that works. But that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We really do appreciate it. Once again, shout out to Nia Green in the chat. Hitting us up with this on this live as well. You are always welcome back. We will be here
Always.
tomorrow. We're going to be doing Salt Lake City on my channel tomorrow, and um, Mrs. Best is going to be doing Basketball Wives, both LA and also Orlando. Those two were a hot mess, and
Yeah, put them last. I'm gonna shift through, but just put them last so they don't,
it's gonna be hard for me to watch my mouth.
No, it's okay. My channel, I
So
don't think I'll
I'm
ever
just
get fucking
so yeah,
monetized.
y'all make sure y'all go over to her channel. Make sure you are subscribed. Her information is in my description box. We would love to interact with you guys there as well because it's going to be a good time. When it comes to basketball wise, I'm glad it's not on my channel because then I would be getting canceled. Because the whole point of my channel, I will say, is what is the point of me watching my mouth? So, all right, y'all. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here once again. We will see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.
Adios.